Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Giant's Road to the Arnold Classic, or should we say the Mutant Giant. Feeling like a mutant today. I had a high carb day yesterday, 1,000 grams of carbs went in, weight went up 3 pounds, a little bit more fullness, but I spoke to Milos this morning on the phone. Luckily I caught him before he went to bed because we've got an 8-hour time difference, UK to Vegas. But he was very happy and he says, look, we know 1,000 grams is literally just skimming over the surface. So it's interesting to hear his thoughts and get his thought process towards how we are going to load for the show. Because if that's just like scratching the surface, then we're looking at least 1,500 to 2,000 grams of carbs over a day if we can get all the food in. 1,000 grams is easy, but towards the end of the day, digestion was a little bit off. Went out for a walk at about 9 o'clock at night, and then actually went in the ice bath, had a bath, and I think the last meal was at 11. But it can be done, and the way it can be done is by choosing foods that digest well. This is obviously the American one, plain and simple, no additives, and that's a good point to remember. So obviously, I'm 3.5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, but I'm 1.5 weeks out from my first show in Italy. So sweeteners, anything with additives is at a bare minimum now, because it does affect the look, but it can affect digestion as well. So I'm just trying to do anything I can to eliminate any issues with day to day, but then that's going to map over into the loading phase as well. Loading foods should be the same as your diet foods, just in higher quantities. Elaborate loading and start eating cookies and whatever else, in my opinion, that just means you're fucked up and you've got it wrong. You've perhaps drove your weight down too much and you need to fill up and you're trying to do something drastic. Now, is it Newton's law? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the more drastic the action, the more drastic the reaction. So you could do it perfectly, it could go fantastically, it could fill you out and you look amazing, or you could look like dog shit. And that's what we're trying to eliminate here. We're trying to be as clever and as calculated as possible, so we make that carbon up process as easy as possible. Low carb day today, we're going to do, Miller says 240 grams of carbs. We're going to do 75 or 80 from cream rice, and 100 grams of powder, which is 80 grams of carbs, my pre-workout meal. A boiling water on the hob, 100 grams of powder, and then the best way to make it, I've found, is depending on what consistency you like it, times the powder volume by 4 or 5 times the water, so 4 to 500 mil. I like 500 because I like it. You can boil it for longer and make it thick, so you just get a little bit more quantity, if that makes sense. But this does digest like a dream, so perfect for pre-workout. Oh yes. There we go, it's like mashed potato. Oh, bloody hell. Dog can have that bit. What we got to do now is make the topping, because we're going to make a whey paste, pour it on top, and then we're going to put it in the freezer. 80 grams of whey, peanut butter ISOSURGE, 60 grams, 60 ml of water. So turn this up to 140. A layer of cinnamon on there. I like to mix my whey with 2 grams of salt. Said before, salt is very, very important. Pink salt, it's not going to have the same effect on like blood pressure and all these negative side effects you might get from table salt. So get pink salt or some iodized salt. Cheeky little paste. There's some whey in here, you know. Yeah. Whey. There's a whey paste that Katie made yesterday.
Don't leave it in the freezer for too long.
If you left it a bit long, might be a bit hard to eat. While that's cooling down, I'm going to get ready into some gym attire. I'm going to show you something. Thank you very much to Bex behind the camera. She bought me some socks for my birthday. I'm going to rock these today. And can you look already? I've already colour matched with the hat. And I have some yellow shoes as well, so I'll be back. And there we go. That's all she wrote. So that is the cream of rice with the whey paste. I'm going to eat this in the office because I got to quickly reply to a client that's having a meltdown before we go to the gym, just to make sure he's okay for the day. And then we get our stuff together and hit legs. Yeah. I definitely think peanut butter chocolate ISOSURGE, my favourite flavour. But when I was at Ron's gym in Canada, West Coast Iron, I got made there a blend. Banana ISOSURGE mixed with peanut butter ISOSURGE. Peanut butter banana. That was divine. So, guys, get creative. It'll work out. Right guys, we're off to the gym. I've got my Sean Clarida Giant Killer t-shirt on. Obviously we trained together in Vegas and I'm still alive. So he didn't do a very good job, did he? Top guy. Top mutant. Right, I want to explain the car situation. This is not my car. Similar, but I've lost a door. This is the M4, not the M3. Basically my car's in for a dent and some other bits, and they've loaned me this from BMW Stratstone Derby. Shout out to them because they look after me all the time. But they have an optional extra inside which is going to cause me and Beck some problems today. I didn't have these seats purposely because I knew there was a pain in the arse to get in and out of if you're a bodybuilder. They're the carbon bucket seats. Have a look at these, Bex, you got to get in these today. They're very tight. Hug the hips into the seat. Nice little pouch support for the undercarriage there. I didn't want to pre-warn you. Thought I'd get your reaction on camera. What do you think about that?
Very tight.
Tight like a tiger. We're going to go post some items of Team Giant clothing. There are very, very limited things available, but there are some available. So hit the website if you want some Team Giant clothing. We're going to get off to the gym and crush some legs. We're a week and a half out from Italy. I'm feeling it. We managed to go to Vegas and Canada with Mutant. You'll see all that content obviously on the channel. But we managed to go and come back and make progress. So that was like massive, massive tick in the box for prep. And it just shows that you can travel, you can be out of your normal routine and you can make progress. It's just about planning. I got a lot of help from the guys at Mutant. Bless George. He like organised everything with food and making sure that I wasn't overworked, and you know, Sam and Jim and Ron and Dusty and all the guys there just made the trip so pleasurable, and Canada was a blast. Ron's gym is amazing, West Coast Iron, big shout out. So we're going to hit legs today. You're going to see how I structure my workouts and the type of training I do at this stage. We're a week and a half away from competition, so probably reiterating stuff I've said in the past, but anyway, just in case. We don't want to cause massive inflammation. We don't want to put excess fatigue on the body. We're already fatigued enough. We've gone through 13, 14 weeks of dieting and training and all the rest of the things. At this point in prep, sleep's taking a bit of a hit, so recovery is going to take a bit of a hit. With the lower calories, going to take a bit of a hit as well. So you're being hammered. Fatigue, fatigue, fatigue. Last thing we want to do is then spread more fatigue on the fatigue cake by just training like an absolute asshole. So it will be a managed volume session, managed intensity session. It's going to be higher rep range, lower weight. I'm thinking about even doing a giant set because it's a way of getting maximal output out of the, not the most minimal input, but it's a great way of training because I know by doing the giant sets, the loads aren't going to be crazy. We're going to get a ton of volume in there. The volume, the contractions, all going to help the detail towards the physique. We'll do some posing at the end so you can see where the physique's at. Going to go inside, make my intro up because we've got no pre-workout today, it's a low day. And whilst I'm inside, I'm going to discuss with you the look me and Milos are going for, because that will coincide with the posing afterwards. I want to tell you how I think I'm looking, why I'm looking this way, and then you can make the judgment and the assessment for yourself when you see me with my pants on. So, intra, no carbs, but we're going to have some EAAs. One level scoop, I've done it that many times, I know is 15 grams. So do 15 grams of the EAAs and 15 grams of the BCAAs. That's just going to ensure that really we're doing everything we can to protect the muscles from breaking down and being utilised for energy during the training. You know, on these low carb days, we're still mobilising fat and using fat for a fuel source. The body will always prefer to use muscle before fat because, you know, survival mode kicks in, fight or flight. We need the fat for survival. Goes back to, you know, prehistoric times, whatever it is. When we were cavemen and, you know, fat was obviously used for survival and life preservation, etc. Bit of history for you there on the human body. So what I was saying before about the look me and Milos are looking for going into the show. And I touched on the fatigue part of that again, just to really explain why at this stage you want to manage fatigue. Well, imagine a fatigued bodybuilder or a fatigued body as a bucket with holes in, yeah? So you've kicked the arse out of this bucket over 14 weeks and now it's starting to get holes in it. So we come to fill the bucket, fill out the physique, ready for the stage. Well, you know you're not going to fill it adequately with all these holes in. You're just going to keep pouring water in. It's not going to do what you want it to do because the body's in a state of fatigue, it's not happy. So right now, week and a half from the show, you should be looking like almost stage ready. Like you've not got to really push and do anything stupid to get that last bit of fat off and get ready for the show and increase that fatigue even more. Because if we can now start to taper back training, taper back cardio in terms of intensity. So my intensity change has been from going from the stairs to the treadmill. So the intensity's come down. We're still getting the output out and we're still moving and getting the steps in, etc. We're now looking at making sure that bucket is solid and it's fresh and it's ready to fill. Because then once we put the carbs in, body's happy, it's in a state where it will take on those carbohydrates and we're going to have the best chance of looking our best. So the look we're going for is definitely a fuller look. Milos is known for his bursting fullness protocols. And we had a chat this morning and he says, look, your glutes have been tighter in the past for sure, but what elements of your physique have you had to sacrifice to get those glutes as sharp as they have been in the past? Well, I've had to push down probably 7 to 10 pounds more weight off. So we're currently a nice chunk of weight up, but with that weight, we've got a nice level of fullness and balance. There's new muscle tissue there, the back's come on for sure. So my strengths are my size and my structure and my width. So if we can take an exploding full physique to that stage, there's going to be so much more to look at than an extra 2 lines in your glutes. So it's about establishing what are the strengths of your physique. I've played the condition game before. Where's it got me? Well, I've not finished in the top 3. I've not qualified for the Olympia. That's the goal this year. Me and Milos are on the same page that this look right now, fast forward another 10 days, so another 5 to 7 days of dieting and then filling up is going to be absolutely perfect. We're going to be probably 298 to 300 on stage, but blasting full. The lines of my physique, I think, are the best and most proportioned and balanced they have been. As I said, the glutes definitely aren't as tight as they have been in the past, but that element of my physique is now overshadowed by, I think, a better all-round look. So, as I said, we'll do some photos, some videos at the end of the session. You can see for yourself. Please feel free to comment on what you think. We'll have a discussion and we'll go from there. We're just setting up this giant set. So the idea is to get glutes and hamstrings done together. We'll probably go quads, hamstrings and quads together, and then we'll do glutes at the end. So I'm probably going to go hamstring, quad in terms of exercise selection. Lying hamstring, leg extension, seated ham curl, leg press. Then I'll go for a stiff leg, lunges, and then this hyperextension, which is really for stretching the hamstrings out and then getting a good contraction in the glutes. Sweet. So the aim for the first round is like a bit of an active warm-up, so we're going to do things a bit lighter, go for a higher rep range. So we'll go for 15s on the first round with a moderate weight, and then we'll increase the weight and go 10 to 12s for the next 2 rounds. So 3 rounds total, and then we'll hit something for glutes, calves, cardio, posing. Done. Warm up my arse. You see the weights are lighter, but the volume and the intensity is, yeah, it creeps up on you for sure. I think the weights on some things were fine, we'll increase some things and lower the reps to 10. 2 rounds of that, I think the legs will be pretty done. Yeah, on to the next. If I can, I'll definitely train earlier rather than later at this stage. Just really to get the tick in the box for the training session for the day. I find I'm more productive, more awake, more energetic early in the day, and then past like 1 o'clock, it's a real struggle. And then, you know, motivate yourself, come to the gym. So again, it's about adapting and changing. If I was in the off season, I'd like to have more food in because the sessions would be more intensive, they'd be heavier, you'd need the food in there for performance. But right now, as I said, training, it's just about ticking that box. So the lunges, you can see that it's quite a close stance lunge. I was almost like leaning over the quad, and that's just to keep the focus on the quad. If you take a longer stride, then you can get more glute and hamstring, but that wanted to be like more quad focused in the routine here. I do think that obviously I adapted my training through prep to suit my needs at the time, and those needs are continually evolving and changing. So it's about adapting to what situation, what position your physique's in, how far away the show is, just continually changing things. That's why I don't believe that, you know, these people who get married to a logbook and chasing down numbers and following scripted sessions. I do find value or see value in that in the off season, but I think in prep you've got to be a little bit more flexible with your approach. That's just my personal view. I'm not saying it's right, but personally for me that's what works. So hopefully you can take something away from that. From terms of my physique at the minute, the striations aren't as deep as they have been in the past in the glutes. They're definitely coming through, but I almost think it's like a fullness issue as well, because I've not trained glutes as much this prep as I have in the past. And if they get flat, it's like any muscle. There's loose skin there. When I feel it, there's not any gristly fat, it's more loose skin. So that tells me that it's a fullness issue more so than a fat loss issue. So again, that's having the knowledge of feeling your own physique and knowing the difference between fat, water, and different things like that. So that should be things that your coach is concentrating on and helping you out with and helping you learning. But having the experience I have, it almost just, I don't know, takes the edge off any anxiety or pressure I have for being ready for the show. Prep yourself, you know that it's just a matter of getting the job done at this stage. I've had a few clients this week that are at the same stage I am. They compete at the same weekend and they've been asking for refeeds and cheat meals and saying they're struggling and blah blah blah. It comes down to one thing: how much do you want it? How much do you want to win? Well, not even necessarily win. How much do you want to be your best? What were the intentions? This is what I asked the guys. What were your intentions when you started this journey to compete? What did you want to achieve? One of them said yesterday, I want to win. I says, well, do you need a cheat meal? No. There you go then, crack on. It's as simple as that. Sometimes people need a bit of tough love and a bit of straight talking. So from my point of view as a coach, it's about getting to know my clients on an emotional level and knowing how much they can take in terms of straight talking or whether they need a bit of a softly approach. But yeah, at this stage, it's about getting the fucking job done. Remembering why you're doing it. Remember why you made the sacrifices and all the hard work and effort that you've put in so far. Why go and piss it up the wall at the end by cheating on your diet? Something to look forward to after you train. It definitely takes the edge off the hunger. It definitely helps that it tastes absolutely divine also. Oh yeah. So I get 75 grams of carbs post-workout. I'm gonna have these from oats. So I'll have 125 grams of oats. Beautiful. Oh, my OCD's really playing with me at the end of prep. Looks like it has to be 125. Not a gram less, not a gram more. So we'll get a bit of cinnamon in here. Again, just going to volumize it as much as possible. So that's plenty of water there. It's swimming. That's on for 2 minutes. I have 20 grams of fat in the morning with my meal one. And then today, because it's a low day, I'll likely have fat from a lean beef meal. And then I'll probably, after this, do a no carb meal with turkey and almond butter. The wife has banned me from eating white fish. And funny story, when I was in the Mutant Mansion in Vegas, everybody absolutely hated me for cooking white fish. I stunk the house out. Sorry guys. Them oats are perfect. They will thicken up a bit more as well. Now, I spoke about sweeteners earlier. Obviously I'm using cinnamon to offer a bit of sweetness, but this is the only kind of sweetener I would use, stevia. And I'm using it like once a day on oats, so it's not crazy. I've even cut out now diet sodas. Me not happy. Sports fans, at the ready. So I've got a bit of courgette in here. You don't really want too much fibre after training, and there's fibre in the oats as well. Because I guess you don't want anything too slow digesting, but the volume of food we're eating right now really doesn't matter. Normally what I do while I eat, I like to distract myself with YouTube. Today we've got some Eric the Electric. Eating as many calories as possible for 8 hours. So yeah, we've all done it. As sadistic as it is, we like to wind ourselves up in prep when we can't eat these things and watch people eating them for us. He doesn't look very happy, does he? He's 20,000 calories deep. I think he's been eating for about 2 hours. Right guys, so this is meal number 4, I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So I mean 60 grams of carbs and rice cakes in this one, and then the typical turkey and courgette in there, standard. I've got Beth and Lee round. The treatment's called Neurokinetic therapy.
Yep.
Neurokinetic therapy. It's basically, I do understand that your muscles obviously got neurological pathways from the brain, syncs to the muscles, basically tells us how to move, how to perform different movement patterns, etc. So what's happened to me over a long amount of time, years of training, is I've picked up some bad habits from injuries which has set my body in a certain way. Beth looked at my photos when I put my check-in pictures up and noticed these imbalances, which I'm very well aware of. One lat sits higher than the other because I got a twist in my lower lumbar, and then that's affecting my glutes and my hip alignment and my leg striations. So from one thing, it can cascade into multiple different issues. So hopefully, Beth's going to be on camera today. She's going to tell me what I can do to correct these. And obviously it's not going to happen straight away, but we're going to work together over time and perfect my presentation and make me as symmetrical as possible. So I'm going to eat this food, then we're going to get into that. We'll see after.
Today in regards to a treatment, I'm not doing anything corrective wise because you only got two weeks left now.
Yeah.
So we're going to do your NKT stuff. We're going to do an MOT, test everything so I know what's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
And then today we're going to just flush your lats through. Dead light work. And he's got 4 days. I'm doing it on you, aren't we? Still to last night. So
yeah.
It's nothing that's going to impact central nervous system at all. Like constantly, I just want to palpate in there.
It's better now.
Okay.
I think because I'm a bit lighter, but in the off season it aches all the time.
Okay, put more stress on there.
I've gone through periods where, you know, getting out of bed's an effort and I can't stand up straight quickly.
Yeah.
But it seems to be a lot better now than it has been in the past.
Yeah. So when you're doing your, you know, we know it's in the kitchen when you twist to your left, you're more restricted. Obviously your right QR muscles, it's just kind of in spasm constantly.
Yeah.
So it's pulled too tight. So how we correct that, I'm not going to stay able to tell you. It's nothing intense. We release it through like deep tissue work. Nothing. You see a post on your page actually saying how the guy works. Like it's not about pain. That's perfect. That's how I work.
Yep.
I'm not about showing everyone how strong I am for an hour.
Yeah.
It's not about that. You shouldn't be not walking the next 4 days after a treatment.
Yep.
You release it. And then, so how it works is you test your QLs are overfiring for a reason, so it's switched on too much for a reason. So you test the antagonist muscles to it, you test the synergist muscles to it, you look at what's working, what's not working, to what level they're not working, and then you release the overfiring muscle and you activate the weaker one. So what a lot of therapists do that don't do NKT is they release the overfiring muscle and then they leave it because they're not to correct it. So you release it, it feels nice, you go away for a couple of weeks, it feels good, and then it comes back again, you've got to get it worked on again. Because you've released the strongest part and then you haven't activated the weaker part. So that eventually you're still going to pull back here, you're still going to keep taking that route if you look at it as a roadmap. We need to tell you to start using the other weaker muscle now. So that's how we do your rehab. We do it as in, it'll be a tailored rehab so that you're doing certain movements every day for 2 weeks. It'll take 2 weeks for your brain to reprogram it as a new pathway. And then after that, you'll remember it. Your brain will be like, this is how I work now. Good, relax. And do it again. Good, relax. Relax. And again, relax. Do you know the difference in both of those sides?
Yeah, that sounds hard.
There's a big difference to it.
Yeah.
A big difference to it.
Yeah.
So this is where it comes in. You don't
That's
know
where it's like
this-
dug in here. It's like it's killing.
You're still a bit
And
soft
it's
in this
inflamed.
stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't push with this arm. Think about your spine.
Yeah.
So push against me in that direction.
Okay.
So push. Good. Relax. And again, relax. Do you know what's the difference with those? Put your hands down.
It seems a little bit weaker going this way.
Yeah, so it's your left side rotation's a little bit weaker, which we're expecting. I've already kind of, in my head, I know kind of what the tests are going to show.
Yeah.
I'm just confirming with the test. So because of how your physique is and your offsets that are there, we're just confirming with the test, that's all. So you know, to have this external rotation a little bit better, that left side's horrendous.
Yeah.
So we can get more out of them both.
Yeah.
When we get more out of those rotations, it's going to swing these out a lot. So
Okay.
I'll do a little bit of work on your tying here
Yeah.
and releasing this external rotation.
Uh-huh.
I'll just get you test a little bit first.
Yeah,
Or is that probably around
Yeah.
there? Right, and then from there push backwards.
Wow.
That side's not doing too much, is it? That
No.
left side. So it's like you've switched off this whole kinetic chain a little bit.
Yeah.
Good, relax. And from there. Good, relax. And again from there. So you know when you're doing that,
Yeah.
your serrate is too switched on. So that's firing up more than what your lat is.
Right.
So that's why I'll do it now a little bit actually.
Yeah.
Just to show you.
I'd rather, if you think something's going to help, I'd rather just do
It
it.
is going to help.
So just.
It's
do
going to
it.
help, and then what we'll do is, like I say, after your show, we'll get everything done properly.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll put aside a couple of hours
Yeah,
just to
wicked.
make sure we can get into it properly.
What are you doing? So you're seeing your clients, so you're visiting them at gyms?
Yes, yeah, go to a couple of people, yeah.
Right.
We go
You know,
Yeah.
the Physique Evolution.
Yeah, in Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously them, and
Right.
then a couple of us go to that meet up for a coffee.
Just get it popping through a little bit.
Yeah.
You've got scar tissue in here.
Yeah.
Obviously produced through training, but your
Yeah.
recovery needs to be a bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
Your rehab's got to be a lot better. It's going to benefit, obviously bodybuilding's about your physique, but
Yeah.
your rehab and your recovery is going to benefit that physique. So
Yeah.
so
I am
it's
very-
probably.
Accustomed to prioritising recovery.
Okay. Do you tend to just prioritise it when you've got an issue?
No, I mean, stretching, I don't do. Sports massage, I have one every week.
Okay, well done, that's good.
The ice bath, I do 4 times a week.
You go to there, which we can.
Yeah.
The reason why we can't open that a little bit more is through tightness.
Right,
So
yeah.
once that you imagine I'm going to grab your delts and I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
It's just going to open up so much more.
Awesome.
Oh, God.
So they're even wider.
Get you in line. Do you have work done on your intercostals all the way between your ribs?
Not really.
No.
No.
So your rib cage needs work too,
Yeah.
because it does this. If
Yeah.
you can open up your rib cage, it's going to open up your chest, it's going to
Yeah,
open up
yeah.
your back, it's going to open up everything.
Yeah.
So again, nothing intense.
Mhm.
Just run your fingers through. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Get your wife to do it for you. That's loads better. Right, and then from here, push
Yeah.
your elbow down again for me. Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
The best thing to see from here is when you did that, your hips didn't move.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
that, you pulled and the hips offset, you can see you driving just that muscle, which is
Yeah.
So it's
so much
isolating
better.
that muscle. So again, through a movement, you'll naturally pull the muscles in synergies to help
Yeah,
it. So the
yeah.
synergies is an assisting muscle.
Right.
You'll pull those in to help it 'cause it's not capable of doing it by itself.
Yeah.
It's just natural, isn't it?
Definitely.
Sorry.
That's all
This
right.
side won't be as bad because it's in this side with the issue, is it? But
No.
okay, fix through. We'll flush those serrators through a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel easier on your left hand side?
Yeah.
A little bit looser.
Yeah.
And that's just from work on the anterior aspect, like lightly.
Yeah.
Push it up towards the ceiling. Good, relax. That wasn't great, was it?
No.
And again from there, push up. Good, relax. Relax. Good. And again from there. Good, relax. Relax.
Is that even worse?
And again. Good, relax. You've got some clunking out of this shoulder too. So
Yeah.
the little clicks and the little pops.
Yeah, it's clicking yesterday.
So it's tightness in your shoulder.
Right.
Because something's misfiring, it pulls on the tendons and pulls your joint a little bit close together.
Yeah.
So the clinking's like a bit of your shoulder trying to remobilise itself.
Okay.
Good, relax. So, just for the sake of today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these off and we'll switch these on.
Yeah.
So I can do that for you today. Just takes a few rounds of doing it for your brain to remember it's got to use that part. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Good, relax. I'll do you a full write up.
Yeah.
We'll go over things properly again at the end before I leave to make sure you're aware of what's going on and why.
Yeah, cool.
I think with the fact you've noticed certain muscle tests and how things feel a little bit differently
Yeah.
helps hugely.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the fact that you know it's not working correctly, like you're like, right, okay, I don't work, let's get that fixed. So
Yeah.
we'll do that for you.
Yeah.
So we've not done anything intense. We've loosened this off to get this external rotation a little bit better.
Yeah.
And we've pinpointed the issue in your hip, so I can fix that. I'm quite confident I can fix that if you going
Yeah.
forwards.
Awesome.
See, it's somewhat slowly for me, which might feel a little bit dizzy.
There's only one way I move anyway.
Slightly.
There's only one speed.
Right, how's that feeling?
Yeah, I feel like
Feel relax.
yeah.
No, I'll stop poking
I think I
you.
definitely fell asleep when I was on the phone.
I think you did.
Oh, that is it. We are done for the day. That might not look like much, but I fell asleep, so it definitely tired me out. But obviously, we're in prep. I got up at 4:30 this morning, so I've been up 13 hours. We've trained legs. We've done cardio or steps twice. Had that, I think I'd call it a massage. What is it? Neurokinetic therapy, NKT. But the Beth, the lady that did it, was obviously very knowledgeable, and I'll definitely be getting treatment off her after the show. She's very confident that she can correct this alignment imbalance, which is fantastic because for years I have tried multiple therapists who quite literally didn't know what they was doing in that regard. Now, obviously my sports massage therapist Jay does a fantastic job of looking after me in that field, but there's just, it's like anything, there's like specialist areas for different things, and she's obviously a specialist in her field in that manner of correcting imbalances and working with someone's individual needs. So it was very, very good to meet her. And I said, luckily, on the Instagram DM from a fella, Lee, I've had multiple people tell me over the years, you're out of line. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. It's my body. I look at myself every day and I just don't reply. So luckily I replied to this one because it's benefited me. So happy days. I've got 2 more meals left. Obviously it's a low day, so far we've had 150, we've had 210 grams of carbs. I'll leave the carbs there for today. We've got a turkey and almond butter meal, so I'll have 15 grams of fat from that, from 30 grams of almond butter, and then I'll have 15 grams of fat from 300 grams of 5% lean meat, minced beef and courgette before bed. And that's it. I'll be in bed probably about 8:30. I might do an ice bath later, I'm not sure, I'm pretty smashed now. We've got to go to the supermarket, get some more turkey in, and then that's it. Bex is going to be back after I compete in Italy, so if this comes out before, which I'm not sure it will, wish me luck in the comments, but I'm hoping I can have you watch this video being an Olympia qualified athlete. That's the goal. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Comment below, let us know what you want to see for the final 2 episodes. Arnold Classic is 3.5 weeks out. Peace out for now, see you later.